Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a good day today. It's a little crazy day with it being a Fed day and some other stuff we'll talk about here in a little bit. But first, tomorrow I want to tell you about the free webinar we're having. It's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and named The Truth About Day Trading. So if you know me, you know it's all straight talk. I'm just going to kind of share with you what day trading is really all about and some things that you really need to look at as you get into day trading. And you may already be in it and you'll still get some good information on it. So if you want to check it out, it's tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and all you need to do is go to the website averagejoetrader.com and go to the webinar page, click on the link and sign up for it. Alright, so now everybody knows we've had some issues with uh, YouTube the last couple of days and streaming and the live stream and all that. So I'm going to do something different. I've got all of these resources, so I might as well use them. What we're going to do, I'm still going to do the morning show. It's going to be from 8:30 to 9. But in order to get it, you will need to register. Go to my website, averagejoetrader.com, and on the home page, you'll see a button there. Just click on it, and you can register for the morning show. So to give you a login and a password, and you'll be able to see me in the mornings. And I'll also be doing the Sneak Peek Wednesday the same way. So if you're registered for one, you'll be automatically locked in for the Wednesday. So today, let's talk about some trades today. We had a very unique and rare occurrence for the stocks that I trade. You know, typically I stay away from the low float, low price stocks because they tend to be real volatile and they tend to be prone to manipulation and prone to halts. So this morning, MSCI hit our scan. You can see it made this big gap up this morning, and it was on our scan, and I couldn't find any news on it. And come to find out, it was up on rumors of a takeover bid or a buyout bid. So, normally we don't trade takeovers or buyouts or anything like that because normally it just gaps up and it trades at one price. And this price action did not look like a typical, buyout. Plus, there was no solid news. There was nothing in print that I could find, that was talking about it. So most of the time when that happens, it's just a rumor, and eventually somebody will come out and deny it or confirm it. So I was just trading the chart. I wasn't going to worry about trading the news or anything like that. I just want to trade the chart. So this is the 925 candle, and we sold off pretty hard here. And the spread was pretty wicked pre-market as well. So I was kind of waiting for the volume to come in and the spreads to close. And okay, here's the first candle. This is the 930 candle. So I waited. I let this candle open, test, test the VWAP to 20 and all that, pull back. And as we started to break the low, I went ahead and got in. And the spread was still pretty bad. And I was saying in chat, I'm only going in 100 shares on this because the spread is bad. And if it pulls back, I could always add and get in full, my full size. But I didn't like the price action. And I put in my stop at, I got in here at 106.26. I put in my stop at 107.26. Well, this candle should have stopped me out. And if you were watching in chat, you saw that little window pop up. It said my stop order failed to trigger, or it was rejected, or whatever the case was. So it got rejected and then it pulled back. And it really never went back and hit that price again. It never really, well, I mean, it did, but I never put the stop back on, is what happened. I waited and I kind of reassessed the situation, and I saw that the 9 moving average was here and it was acting as resistance. So as it was coming in, as long as we were respecting the 9, I kept the trade on. And I held it, and we held it through all of this. And in the meantime, I actually got in another trade and got out, which we'll look at here in a minute. But just waited, and then it started to work. And we started to feel good about it. And then all of a sudden, we get the news that it halted, pending news. So for me, I'm rarely in halts, but I understand, what causes a halt. And with this halt for pending news, somebody from the SEC or whatever probably contacted this company and asked them, what's going on, because your stock is up 13% and there's no solid news coming out. So somebody needs to come out and say something. And usually that's what happens. And when it came out, it came out that it was a rumor, that there was no deal in the works or anything like that. And so when it opened back up, it gapped down. I wasn't paying attention. I kind of took my eyes off of it for 1 minute, because I heard, we were listening to Benzinga, and when I heard the news and then I read it, and I was looking away, and when I looked back, it was open, and we were trading down around 98. I missed covering, because this is where I wanted to take the first cover here, right at the 200, and I missed it and ended up covering here. But that's, still, I'm in at 106.26 and I cover at 99.04. You're talking about, I took off half there, and you're talking about 7 points, over 7 points on that first hit. And I waited, and I had my bid out down here for it to tap the red to green line and bounce, but it didn't. It kind of held up here on the 200, and then when I saw it starting to push back up, I went ahead and covered all of it. So I just wanted to lock in what I had, and it turned out to be a $750 trade. And you could say it's luck, but the thing is, as far as I'm concerned, luck is the skill of luck is a product of skill and preparation. And skill is what had us in this trade and what kept me in this trade. Preparation was what had me prepared to react. And so being in the right place at the right time, yeah, it could be luck, but luck is a product of skill and preparation, and we were here. Yeah, if I got stopped out here, I would have gotten back in. As soon as we got down in here, I would have been looking to get back in, because the whole time I knew if there's nothing in print, this thing is up on air. And this is the same reason I took MBLY last week, or was it Monday? I took it at the open and held it all day, because I was expecting something like this to happen. I didn't expect a halt. I expected it to bleed back and probably recover half of the gap up. That was my expectation. No way was I expecting a halt in this huge gap down. But we were there, and it was because of the skill of identifying the trade, sticking with the setup, and being prepared when this halt, happened. And there were some people in the room that were a little bit uneasy. They never experienced it before. They didn't know what to expect. There was some real bad nerves going on. But if you were there, I didn't get upset. I wasn't, bent out of shape. I knew that no matter what, I was prepared to deal with it. If it went to pop and run, I would have dealt with it. I had a hard stop in, so as soon as it opened, it would have fired off that stop if it gapped up. So, the damage would have been limited. But as soon as they verified that the news was fake, I pulled my stop just in case it popped up real quick before it gapped down, and I was waiting for this. So this was a pretty decent trade. Now the trade that I did take, UAL, and I got stopped out on it. I was looking at this, taking it on a retest of this VWAP here. I missed the opening range breakdown because of this wicked candle here. So I said I'll wait for the pullback and try to catch it close to the VWAP. And I was looking for it to go down. At the time, the SPY was trending down. You can see, I had the SPY up here. At the time, you see the SPY was selling off. It was right in here. The SPY was selling off. And I felt confident about going short. And that's why I took it short and ended up getting stopped out. It was a little bit, I had $100 max loss. That's my max loss on these now. Since I upped my position size, it's $100 max loss. So I had $100 max loss here, but because we broke trend, and everything about this showed strength, I took it off. I didn't sit there and just let it stop me out. At $100, I took it off and saved, myself about 18 bucks or 16 bucks. So, no big deal. If the setup happened tomorrow, I'd take it again because this is just kind of what I look for. But I shouldn't have been trading this because I was still in MSCI. My focus should have been on MSCI, not this. But trying to make something happen on a setup that I like, and just didn't follow through. So all in all, 638.43 on the day. And what I did was I shut it down after 11:30, and I had said this even before the halt. I was thinking that I was going to get stopped out on this. I figured eventually this was going to push back because we were hanging around it, and the longer we hang around this, the more opportunity it can build strength and pop on me. So I really felt that I may be getting stopped out on this thing. And I said, once this trade is over, I'm pretty much done for the morning because I didn't like the price action. Nothing was really giving us a good move. And it was Fed day. So I was just going to sit tight and wait until the Fed news came out and then see if we could trade that volatility. But because this worked and we locked in what we locked in, that was it. And when you're in an account growing mode and you nail a home run like this, shut it down for the day. If you still want to trade, paper trade. But shut it down, because right at this point, we're just trying to build and trying to add to our account. You know, and if I could continue to add and build, I'm going to have a nice withdrawal at the end of the month. Because going forward, at every month, I'm going to start with 5 grand, and we're going to trade. Start with 5 grand at the beginning of the month, and then at the end of the month, if we're plus, we'll pull it out. If we're negative, you know, hopefully it won't be so bad. We'll add back and start with 5 grand again. Thankfully, I've never had to add. I've always been able to pull out, or, you know, just let it sit if there was only $700-800 left in it. Just let it sit for the next month. But whatever the case, that's what we're going to do. So right now, we've got a pretty decent withdrawal. So I've got a nice paycheck coming at the end of the month if I can maintain, you know, what I'm doing. So that was it for us today. Um, you know, it was pretty interesting and exciting in the morning. The afternoon, you know, watching the ETFs take off after the Fed news. You know, I was watching JDST and DUST. Just watching. I don't trade them, but it was just interesting to watch. And that's pretty much what I did the rest of the afternoon. So don't forget, if you want to catch my morning show, my watch list bills, and get a little bit of inspiration in the morning, just make sure you go to the website, Averagejoetrader.com, and sign up for it. You know, we'll be there at 8:30 every morning. If I'm not going to be there, you know, I will let you know. I will let you know. So averagejoetrader.com. The button is right there as soon as you go to the home page and register, and just be there. Just go to the link every morning at 8:30 and wait for me, or really you can get there a little bit early, you know, and get logged in and just wait for me, and I will be there. So everybody have a great evening, a great night, and we will see you bright and early in the morning.